What's up, boys? I just wanted to make a part two, maybe just like a continuation of my thoughts on whether pornography should be regulated, more specifically internet pornography, because that's the more, nefarious issue to be concerned with. And at the end of my last video, I basically came to the conclusion that yes, it in fact should be a little bit regulated, not, completely banished to the shadow realm. It should still, how do I say? Some cyclists, fuck. Yes. No. I think it should be a little bit regulated. I think, especially for minors and for, people that I think shouldn't even be using social media in the first place. There should definitely be stricter regulations for people to be able to access certain sites when they're minors, when they're underage, because it's dangerous. But I honestly came to the conclusion that it's not just pornography that should be regulated. I think honestly just social media as a whole should be, it should be a blanket regulation that encompasses pornography and social media alike. And I think that it would come to these, I think it would be protecting the same group of people that pornography addiction would be protecting as well, which for the most part is children, is minors. If we have social media bans, we can include pornography in the conversation. Do I think adults that want to be gooners and that want to crank their shit 50 million times a day to whatever fucking sonic foot inflation, then you know what? That should be your right. But I think that we should have a different level of standards when it comes to minors on the internet. And as long as these kinds of materials are not regulated, a little bit at least, I do think that it's a detriment to society as a whole. Not just for minors, but mostly, but especially for adults, honestly. But again, though, I don't want to become like Russia. I don't want to become like a totalitarian country where the government, tells grown adults what they can and can't do with their time and with their devices that they probably worked hard to pay for, right? So it's kind of a slippery slope, once you start regulating these things, because, where does it end, right? But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have that much to say about this because I already spoke a lot about it in my last video, but I think that nobody under the age of 16, 17 should be on social media. I don't think that's a really hot take either. If you think that's a hot take, then maybe you should look inwards and maybe you should look inwards and try to understand why you think that that's okay. Because honestly, I can't think of any positive things from people under 16 using social media. I mean, what is one benefit, honestly? I can't think of any. It's not necessary. It didn't exist 20 years ago, and kids were fine going to school and didn't have to look at their phones 24 hours a day, and they could get their work done, and they could contact their parents, or they could just go play outside. Like, there was no, if you didn't know the shit existed, obviously you didn't fucking need it, but for some reason, there's a lot of parents out there that think that, first of all, the iPad kids thing, that's a whole detriment to society on its own. I mean, that's just parents putting their kids in front of iPads to keep them busy while they do their busy work. And it's lazy. It's lazy and it's not good. The thing is, here's the thing. Parents always used to put their kids in front of the TV, right? Let's say back in the day, to keep them distracted while they were cooking or while they were doing whatever. And it's getting hot in here. And whatever, no big deal. But what I think is bad isn't necessarily the screens themselves. Obviously, the screens themselves, too much screen time for anyone is bad, but I just think it's especially the fact that the shit they're watching on YouTube is brain rot. Okay, they're not watching educational shows. They're not watching anything that's like entertaining but like has like a valuable lesson. No, it's all just fucking brain rot. It's all just Elsagate, fucking Spider-Man, Elsa pooping pregnancy fetish. It's all nonsense and garbage. Okay, so no, can think of an argument why children under 16 should be on social media or on YouTube, even for that matter. YouTube's different because there's so much quality content on YouTube that can teach people and kids a lot of good things. So it's hard to blanket YouTube as this one giant brain-rotted website. But for the most part, I don't think kids are out here going on YouTube to watch, videos about human history or about science or about... No, they're coming here to watch bullshit, Probably this video that you're currently watching, too. I would include that in the bullshit category myself, personally. But yeah, no, I think more needs to be done, and I think that all these fucking hypocrites that say they want to protect children, but they think it's totally normal that pornography is not regulated to a certain degree, or that social media is not regulated to a certain degree, are hypocrites. And I think more needs to be done, and I think it's very clear that this is detrimental to society, that there's no benefits to any of these things, especially for minors. Do I think adults should have the right to goon and to watch porn all fucking day if they want? Yeah, sure. Adults have the right to drink alcohol all day if they want, and that's destroying their fucking lives as well, right? So, I don't want to be Mussolini here and just put a blanket fucking ban on everything, or tell anyone how to live their lives. I don't. But I do think that when it comes to kids, when it comes to minors, more needs to be done to stop long-term damage from happening to kids watching this kind of content on the internet. And I'm going to circle back to the beginning of the video, that includes social media. I think a blanket ban on minors using porn and social media should be something that should be talked about more. How do you enforce this? That's another completely different video. I don't know if you can. I'm really not versed enough about the types of mechanisms that could be put in place to enforce these regulations. So pardon my ignorance on that, but I don't even know if it's enforceable. But at least to have the conversation by our elected officials started would be a good step in the right direction, in my opinion. And we have so much evidence that this is detrimental to society, and for some reason no one's doing anything about it. Nobody seems to care. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.